Hey, it's Lemon. Welcome to the Backlogs. You ever play your favorite game for hundreds of hours just to realize you've been sleeping on 90% of the content it has? That's me right now. And judging by the comments I get sometimes, that's a lot of you too. So, in the interest of waking up together, no, not like that, it's time for another weapon type showcase. Today's weapon type is a weird one, mainly because it's not, strictly speaking, a weapon type. Get ready, boys and girls. Things are about to get weird. So, first things first, say hello to our starting build. Considering we'll be using Scythes, I figured the name was appropriate. As far as starting class goes, it doesn't truly matter, but Thief is always a strong choice, considering it gets the Master Key automatically and has 15 dex. Why does that matter? Well, because our first weapon requires 14, and also a goodly amount of strength, but we can ignore that fact with a little two-handing. The only real problem is that our first weapon is hidden in the catacombs, which I don't have to tell you is mildly annoying at best, and controller-breakingly aggravating at its worst. But this isn't our first rodeo, and with a little two-handing of our shield here, a little sprinting past enemies there, and a little leap of faith at the end, we can carefully navigate our way onto what could generously be called a hidden platform and grab our prize, the Great Scythe, one of 2 scythes in the entire game. So, let's talk about this weapon class. As far as Dark Souls 1 is concerned, it doesn't exist. You can skim through all the wikis, look in the game files, whatever. There is no Scythe weapon class, which is weird considering it has a unique moveset, very clearly exists, and there's more than one in the game. But that's Dark Souls for you, I guess. So, what does this weapon do? Well, it does exactly what it was designed to do. Cuts down enemies in wide sweeping arcs, while simultaneously causing bleed damage if whatever you're sweeping doesn't go down in the first hit. The strong attack is a wide sweep that hits everything at waist level in front of you, and does a lot of damage. Meanwhile, the light attack is a vertical slice, cutting everything directly in front of you, and does a lot of damage. There's also a single-handed moveset, of course, but it's not really worth mentioning. The speed and damage take a bit of a hit, and it becomes a much smaller hitbox. So as long as you forego defense and forsake using a shield, this weapon shines. I think that was, maybe 6 hits and a plunging attack to take out the Taurus demon? And you guys thought I was taking it easy on myself when I used daggers. Ah well, they can't all be soul-crushingly difficult runs. So, to keep things interesting for those of you who watch my videos to see something different, I've got an idea. My character is Death, is she not? Fun fact about the Scythe, while it does do a lot of damage, it does very little poise damage, which means fighting against NPCs is going to get a little dangerous, since they have a lot of health and can tank their way through my hits. And while I can parry them, it's not always fast enough to get that hit in, at least not consistently. But wait for the right attacks and get in a classic fucking got 'em backstab here and there, and it won't be long before Solaire finds the peace he so desperately seeks. Shh. Rest now. Your search for light is over. Embrace now the dark. Now then, I dump our hard-earned souls into dexterity, because scythes love dexterity, dirty my scythe all the way up to the hilt. Jesus, I didn't need to see that today. Discover that the scythes have a super fast running attack that does almost as much damage as all the other moves it has. Then give Andre a visit to make this beast of a weapon even stronger. No death for you, Andre. Not today. I have need of you still. Let's see what kind of upgrade damage we're looking at. 2 shots. Pretty decent, I suppose. Separate the chaff. Harvest the wheat. Speaking of chaff.
Could you help me?
I sure can, my friend. Though it's not the kind of help you had in mind.
You leave me no choice.
You're right. You never had one. Better you just come quietly. Why fight against the inevitable? So much unnecessary strife and heartache. It's so much easier to accept what must eventually come to us all, and embrace death as an old friend, rather than a foe. Peace doesn't come easily to us all, I suppose. Also, can we talk about how Lautrec has both Tearstone rings? What's up with that? In any case, with the FAP ring acquired, it's time for our next boss, the Gargoyles. Place your bets now on the number of hits required. Well, the damage is good, and with a little consecutive attacking, the bleed is even better. So that's 5 hits for the first one. Ow. And after a little accidental staggering due to a missed attack, 3 hits to finish off the second. 8 attacks. 8. I guess that is one reason Dark Souls thinks that the scythes belong in the halberd class. If you miss an attack, you stumble like a doofus. But I am glad they came to their senses and made it its own class in Dark Souls 2. That's 1 bell rung, 1 more to go. Oh, and by the way, that was a Great Scythe plus 4. Which means we probably could have shaved off 2 more hits had we taken the time to grind out a few more souls and upgrade to plus 5. Absolutely ridiculous. What's more, despite this weapon very clearly being a bladed weapon, it's doing some serious damage to the Titanite demon. Usually blades just kinda bounce off or do laughable damage against this thing, but here we are, doing 200 plus damage with each swing. Disgusting. Well, that's an easy 2,000 souls, and more importantly, some demon Titanite. We'll need that later. Trust me. Well, this has been a little too easy so far. Let's say we jump ahead and fight a boss we normally don't bother with until later. Death comes on dark wings, after all. In all honesty, I'm expecting this next section to be a complete cakewalk. Hey there, Stray. How's the basement treating you? Well, the regular attack damage isn't great. 200 doesn't get you far with a health bar like that, but the bleed damage more than makes up for it, as always. Oh, I also discovered that if you've got the stamina for it, you can go full harvest mode and just keep strong attacking over and over again. Looks like the next stat I pump will be endurance. And with a little more wild swinging, the Stray Demon goes down with little effort, as expected. Excuse me, sir, but I don't want to forget the doll, and you're in the way. Yep, that's how Scythes work. Just apply pressure. Don't worry if it's not the sharp end. Doll acquired. And with that done, it's time to bring peace to another NPC. Come along, friend. It's time to go.
I may be crestfallen, but I'm not defenseless, you rascal!
Oh, sweet summer child. All are defenseless against death herself.
I think you've done me.
Mayhaps I have, sweetling. Mayhaps I have. Now then, into the lower undead burg we go. The Capra Demon's dogs are no issue, and go down with a single swing of my scythe. And with only about 5 more swings, the Capra Demon goes down. Who needs a shield when the best defense is a good offense? Next is the depths, where we butcher all in our path. Well, well, what have we here? It's not exactly the endgame armor I had in mind, but it'll do for now. I free Laurentius, because it is not yet his time. Free Alphonse from his tortured existence, because it was his. Then get invaded by Kirk. Only a fool tries to invade Death's domain, especially when Death knows where you live. I'll be paying you and yours a visit soon. But first, some unfinished business. Tom Hall, my friend. It's time to go.
Well, that is a shame.
Tom Hall's an interesting fight to be sure, what with crystal weapons being as strong as they are. But as expected, they aren't enough to fend off the inevitable. Nay, friend, you can't take your possessions with you. Leave them where they lie. You have no further need of them. But with the NPCs out of the way, it's time for our next boss, the Gaping Dragon. The damage is extremely strong when you can hit its head, and because of the weapon's extreme length, the tail is an easy second target. A few focused swings, and off it goes. Not a single hit taken the entire fight. Not often I get to say that during a Dark Souls 1 challenge run, especially against this boss, considering what a bully its hitboxes are. I just wish my endurance bar was a little larger. A few extra swings would make these fights just a little bit faster. But with the Gaping Dragon soundly defeated, that's dexterity maxed out at the soft cap. Which means it's time to pump that endurance. Ask and ye shall receive. Time to mess around in Blighttown. My favorite. I make a few, questionable judgment calls. But all in all, Blighttown isn't all that bad. For all its faults, Blighttown has some fine treasures for those who know where to look. Alright, it's mostly just power within, but if you look really hard, I'm sure there's something. I do a little stretching, because warming up is always important before any form of exercise. Remove what I assume is a direct mockery of my current build from this blighted plane of existence. Then rush on into Quelaag's domain to tackle the matriarch herself. This shouldn't take long. While the fight itself isn't anything worth talking about, can we just all collectively agree that whoever redid the fire effects in the remaster deserves a raise? Seriously, the lava and the flame effects look so good in comparison to the original. Oh, first try hitless again, by the way. So that happened. Seriously, where's this weapon been all my life? Bleed, big damage, and a big hitbox? I might as well be cheating. But upsettingly overpowered weapons aside, I think it's time we got our endgame armor set, don't you? Hey, Chief, don't mind me, just picking up some laundry. There we are. Finally, we can correctly look the part. And there we go. Grim Reaper robes acquired. Just a few more pieces, and this build is complete. Ceaseless, don't be clingy. Go on, get. Oh, and tell your mother I'll be stopping by later, would you? Actually, while I have the mind for it, we might as well take out a few more members of this tragedy-ridden family. Ew. Hello, my dear. Sorry to keep you waiting. I know it hasn't been easy for you. Are you ready to go? I'll take that as a yes. Ah, Laurentius. I have need of you. A glove, if you would. Thank you. And with that, your time is at its end.
You detest my pyromancy. That must be it.
Oh, my dear friend, I promise you, nothing could be further from the truth. In fact, your pyromancy is going to make my role in this world much easier. Now that I have power in hand and power within, taking on these 4 should be an easy task.
by the lords.
Are you a heretic or just plain hollow?
But the gods, my dear.
Whew. Okay, what's next? Maybe a little bit of yard work? Or maybe some pest control? I was gonna test out Power Within and see how big a difference it makes, but, well, it only took 4 hits to kill the Moonlight Butterfly. Guess we'll just have to try it out on something else. Into Sen's Funhouse, collecting all the large shards I'll need for a +10 Scythe as I go. I also grabbed the Ring of Steel Protection while I'm here, since a little extra physical defense never hurt anyone. Speaking of hurting anyone, it's time we give Carl a visit.
Forgive me. I was absorbed in thought.
No worries, friend. Death brings out the introspective in all of us. There's no greater mystery in life than the mystery of what happens when that life ends, after all. Wait a minute. Carl, do you have a red Tearstone ring too? What's with all the NPCs having one of those? Is there a bargain bin at a local pawn shop or something? Don't worry, friend. It isn't yet Lynn's time. Also, what the hell, Carl? Is that a speckled stoneplate ring? How did you even... Anyway, I take care of the 4 Titanite demons hiding in the tar pit, then collect a scythe that is actually a bardiche, but is labeled as a halberd. Thank you, Dark Souls. Then make my way to the Iron Golem. Time to see what Power Within can do against a boss. Yep, that's about what I was expecting. We can also put to rest any question that the golem falls from actual damage done to its ankles, not poise damage. If he only fell from poise damage, we'd never be able to put him down like we just did. And while we don't get the funny haha victory, the entire fight is kind of funny in itself. Seriously, with weapons like this in the game, why do people think Dark Souls is hard? A little more Demon Titanite, a little more Endurance, a touch of Deja Vu, and just a smidge more Demon Titanite. Because why not? After that, it's just a quick tightrope walk across the rafters, and we've finally arrived at the location of our endgame weapon. Soon. Always soon. There's only one thing I need here, and the Dark Souls community isn't gonna like it. But hey, when you've only got 2 weapons in your weapon class, you do what you must. Hello, Priscilla. You're looking... tall. Today. Wait, seriously, have you always been this tall? Now, we can't knock Priscilla out of her invisibility with poise damage. That ship will never leave the harbor. But we can do excessive amounts of damage and remove her concentration that way. There, see? Just needed to remove half her health bar. Which sounds awful, I know, but in reality it's only about 3 hits. And just like that, Half-Breed Priscilla is complete. As is our acquisition of our true reason for being here. Let's jump ahead, shall we? Do you get it? Please tell me you get it, I don't have much time. Please God, say you get it! After bullying the cheese demons a bit. No, it's not because they killed me off camera, shut up! I show the Anor Londo archers my tight walking skills and make my way to the bonfire. Huh, where's Solaire? Oh yeah. In any case, time for an upgrade. I collect the last few pieces of Demon Titanite I need, both directly from the source and from a nearby treasure chest, then visit the giant blacksmith to make a potentially dangerous choice. Turns out, the only other scythe in the game requires that you use a +10 halberd weapon to make it, and the only one I've got is my great scythe. The damage is a little less, at least at +0, but that bleed boost is something else. Fuck it, you only live once. What kind of example would I be for the few remaining NPCs if I didn't live life to the fullest? Oh my. Oh my. Oh me oh my. Now, don't get too excited. For those of you unfamiliar with this weapon, all that bleed and damage comes at a cost. Every time the Life Hunt Scythe hits an enemy, the user takes bleed damage as well. And if that bleed buildup crosses the line, well, you know what happens next. Luckily for me, I thought ahead. Turns out, I lied when I said there was only one thing I wanted in the painted world. I also picked up the Blood Shield, which, true to its name, increases your bleed resistance by a not insignificant amount. More bleed resistance means more swings before popping ourselves. Hopefully it's enough. Guess we'll find out. And what better way to test a completely new weapon than by throwing ourselves into the meat grinder? There's the wind-up and the pitch. Alright, seriously, what the actual fuck? Did I just kill Ornstein in 3 hits? 3? And I'm sure I don't need to tell you that Smo is no better. Big guy bleeds as easily as a freshly fed mosquito. Oh god, what a terrible mental image. I am so sorry about that. Anyway, god tier weapon damage aside, I get the Lord Vessel from the local catfish, and am now free to move about the country. I engage in a little jolly uncooperation, which goes very well, then help Shiva find rest. Oops, can't forget the cat.
What a fool we have. What
What a wretched fool we have!
Oh, right. Cats don't have souls. Dogs, on the other hand. Dogs are too good for this earthly plane, because every dog is a good dog, even when they aren't. Rest easy, big pup. Your best friend will be joining you soon on the other side. And before you at me in the comments, I know some people feel very strongly about their cats and would consider them their best friend, but if you think for 1 second that that best friend of yours wouldn't eat your face immediately given the chance, you'd be. Anyway, inevitable comment war that I've probably started aside, I preemptively take care of the Hydra, free Dusk from her mobile crystalline prison, then decide to flex and head to New Londo first instead of last. Hello, Ingward.
Well, this is a surprise. I know exactly what your intentions are.
Oh, good. It's always better when you're ready to go peacefully. Come along, then.
Ah, you are no different from the rest. Prepare to meet your doom.
Now, hold on a minute, bud. You can't go changing your mind halfway through. That's not how this works. Right. Moving on. A few one-hit kill Dark Wraiths later, and we're finally home sweet home. Got a few intruders to deal with first, though. Shouldn't take long. Now, funnily enough, this is the first fight in a long time that's worth commenting on. Because while our damage output is plenty fine, I'm a little worried about the backlash. Turns out, you can't kill one of the 4 kings without either dancing around waiting for the bleed bar to diminish, or taking the hit and letting the bar burst. And that bleed damage is no joke. One burst knocks out about 75% of my health bar, so I need to be near full health before letting it burst, and need to use an Estus flask to refill my health once it's gone off. Thankfully, it's not too hard to time the burst with the death of each king, so I can almost guarantee that I'll have a safety window to chug an Estus. But this is definitely the most pressure I've felt in a boss fight this entire run. Pretty neat to see how that trade-off mechanic can really affect the way you play. That said, it's still a one and done fight. Not much you can do against that kind of damage. But hey, it is what it is. I didn't make the game, I just find the best ways to break it. Oh, hello there, what are you doing down here?
I am the primordial serpent, Darkstalker Khan.
Oh, right, there's 2 of you, isn't there? I always forget about this ending. I don't think I've done this questline since I 100%ed the game all those years ago. Never felt right bringing about nothing but darkness. But if ever there was a run where it's appropriate to bring about the Age of Dark, this is it. I've already begun ferrying souls to the sweet still embrace of the Abyss. Might as well do the job right. So, with a new goal in mind, let's wrap up the run. Time to make our way through the last of the Lord Souls, starting with Scythe. But first, a short detour. My fight with the 4 kings has me a little worried about future boss encounters, so I think it's time we gave Oswald a visit.
Cometh thou to confess, or to accuse? For indeed all sins,
Ozzy, I appreciate the hustle, but death doesn't care about sin. All I care about is this ring you've got here. And let's just throw this on here and holy shit! What? How much? Has this always been here? Does the poison bite ring do this much? Damn, if you're struggling with poison or bleed damage, now you know. Give Oswald a visit. Guy has the goods. No, I don't think I will. Anyway, where were we? Oh, right, Scythe. Well, turns out between Power Within and the Bleed Bite ring, I had absolutely nothing to worry about. Scythe goes down in 5 hits. Can we move on, please? This is actually making me upset. Back into the catacombs, 3-shot pinwheel without Power Within, then withhold information from the audience. Because I'm a little scamp. Just a silly little scamp. Speaking of little scamps, and with that all out of the way, it's time for Nito. Time to see who deserves the title of Living Death. It's me. It's most definitely me. And yeah, credit where credit is due, Nito did give me a run for the money at the end there, and I may or may not have panicked for a hot minute, but in the end, the Lord of Death was killed to death by death. Wait, what? Into the Demon Ruins, where Kirk tries his best to avenge his family, to no avail. And with that thorn no longer in our side, it's time for the gauntlet. This should be easy. The Demon Fire Sage takes all of 6 hits to kill, no surprise there, considering, oh god, the mosquito analogy. The Centipede Demon is much the same, though upsettingly it only takes 5. And after banishing Kirk to the Shadow Realm, we slip and slide down to the Bed of Chaos, who, as always, only takes 3 hits. Is that a record? Beating the entire Izalith Gauntlet in 14 hits? I mean, it's definitely a personal best on my end, but you have to wonder. But with the Lord Souls all collected and all but 2 bosses defeated in the main game, I think it's time we completed the DLC. Don't worry, I'll be quick. The Sanctuary Guardian is a complete joke, taking 4 hits to kill without Power Within activated. I love a good start. Oh look, a talking mushroom.
My strength could surely assist thee in thy travels.
No, I don't think it can.
Why?
Hey, Chester, take your lumps.
Oh, it's come to blows, has it?
Wait, hold on, that's not how this works. You're supposed to take the lumps, not give them. Ow, the hell, why are you so strong? Respect the sippy break. Respect the sippy break! Respect the sippy break!
You win. Please. Oh, please. Have mercy.
No. Anywho, moving right along. Time to give Artorias a go. The damage is great, so no worries there, but there is a slight problem of Scythe's not doing much poise damage. So, don't do that. Instead, play it smart and safe. We've got a whole minute of power within to work with. No need to rush things. Just take your time, wait for the longer animations, and give him the old R2 whenever you're ready.
You, is that not the soul of the man who fell on this spot? Would you be willing to part with it?
Did you just ask Death if she would give back a soul? Surely you knew how this was going to go.
How?
The same way it happened to everyone else. Let me just skip ahead a bit here. Just skip this part. Skip. Ah, there we go. Manus. Now, I'll admit, I died to Manus on the first try. Definitely got a little full of myself, and considering I was dishing out numbers like that, can you blame me? In the end, my hubris caught up to me, and I accidentally tried to use a humanity when I meant to use a silver pendant. So, yeah. Oops. Did much better on the second go-round, though. Oh, and don't worry about Dusk. She's safe now. I saved her. And after letting Goff ground calamite for me, I decided it was time to put the poor guy out of his misery. Goff, if the entirety of Dark Souls couldn't stop Death up to this point, there's not much chance you'll fare any better. Better just to let go, my friend. And after a somewhat dizzying and definitely lackluster fight against Calamite, we've done it. We've cleared the entire DLC in 1 or 2 tries each. Easy game, get good, scrub. You know what? I'll do you one better. I'll even take on the double Sanctuary Guardians like that one guy in the comments keeps telling me to do. They're incredibly annoying to fight, since they constantly interrupt each other's rhythms by attacking out of sync, but it feels like they only have half the health of a normal boss. And once you can find a minute to get an attack in, they're not all that hard. There. Are you happy now? Are you not entertained? Anyway, time to wrap things up. There's a few NPCs I missed on my first go-round, and I wouldn't want to let them down, so let's finish who we can. The undead female merchant, if you've never attacked her, is absolutely great. This woman, I kid you not, will go on a rant for several minutes about how much she hates you when you attack her. It's the greatest thing I've ever seen. And I've ruined it. I'll show you next time. And then we have Bob here. Say hi, Bob. Why anyone, Bob? And with Bob's key, we can now reach Griggs, who, let's be honest, wasn't long for this world anyway. Then we've got Rickard here, who, It would appear that Rickard has decided to wait for the ending to die. Kinda upset about that one, but such is death. Then there's Andre, who has the best moveset I've ever seen. He literally just dropkicked Death in the chest. What an absolute unit. And he's dead. And after upsetting the remaining god in Anor Londo, I slay not 1, but 2 Dark Moon Protectors, then put the giant blacksmith to bed. And after all of that, all that's left is Mrs. Lemon and Gwendolyn.
So it was you, was it? How dare you produce a blade upon a deity? How did you ever get this far?
Honestly, I'm just as confused as you are. You'll have to take it up with Miyazaki. He's the one who wanted Scythes like this. Oh, damn. Nicely done, love. Well played. As always, watching the way you play Dark Souls makes me better at Dark Souls. Time to wrap this up.
Heretic.
Alright then. 3 hits. Just 3 hits. Anyway, I head back to Sen's Funhouse to finish my collection, and finally can finish the run. If that isn't a mood. Come on, Anastasia. Time to go. Alright, never mind, I'll see you in the end credits. Drop some souls, run down the Spookum stairs, and after powering up for the last time, I begin the final fight with Quinn. It's exactly what you'd expect. I even did him an extra kindness and refused to parry the poor guy in hopes that he would give me a better fight. But yeah, Scythe class OP, please nerf. And that's it. Dark Souls beaten with just Scythes. What a ride. But now, with darkness fully enveloping the land, the embrace of death is finally complete. My quest is over. In the Age of Dark, everyone can finally rest. Oh god, I've made a terrible mistake.